Yo, what's up everybody, how's it going? It's time for the monthly Chroma Bloom and Blight update video. Today, I want to do a few things. First, I want to give you the Chroma pitch. I've talked about this before on kind of my stream, that I've been pitching the game to a lot of publishers. And then I kind of jokingly asked if people want to see the pitch, like what that's like when I pitch the game. And so, yeah, people said, yeah, you know, and so I thought, all right, let's just incorporate it into it here. The pitch takes about 10 to 15 minutes, depending. So I will be doing that, and I will probably be starting with it, just so that's kind of out of the way. And then I also have some gameplay prepared for you, where we're going to be playing two different decks today. We're going to be playing against Ivan Yesta again. And one of them is just kind of like some interesting gameplay that I like, and the other one is showcasing some of the new visual effects and all of that stuff. Now, there are quite a few new elements in the game. You will hopefully like the visuals of the game a lot more, because it's very pretty now. I actually really like it. But as always, I want to remind you that the game is still in an alpha state. Nothing is finished. It is still very much in the middle of development. And while we're trying our hardest to get the game out of this alpha state and into a more polished state, well, that's just a matter of time, right? So we're working on it. There's still development artwork in the game, and there's practically no sound effects. Again, something we are aware of. Sound effects are coming. They're just not quite there yet. You know, sound effects are usually something that is added pretty late into the game. Well, when you're developing a game, sound effects tend to come pretty late, and so we are just kind of like, but it should be starting soonish as well. Anyway, that's the plan right now. We'll see how that goes. As always, I am streaming here, so that allows chat to have any sort of, like, if they have any questions, I can, you know, answer all of the questions. I'm not going to put on the suit. I don't feel very well today, so I'm gonna go ahead and stay comfy. Anyway, so yeah, that's gonna be kind of the plan here. Let me go ahead and start up my little thing here. And then I need to figure out which scene I switch to. Is it this one? Yes, this looks like a good one. Here we go. All right, here's our little scene. I'm going to go ahead and just grab myself chat really quick. Hello, chat. Yeah, otherwise I don't know where you guys are at, and I can't read what's going on. And then we're going to go ahead and go into this. So yeah, here we go. So this is going to be the Chroma, Bloom, and Blight pitch. Now, what I want to say about this, first of all, some of the like layout may not look that pretty. That's because we actually scrubbed away some of it because it has my personal contact information. I give the personal contact information to publishers. I do, however, not plan on giving it to you right now. Apologies for that. But that's why, for example, down here, this may seem a little bit empty. That's because that's usually where you have my phone number and fun stuff like that. Anyway, so that's that thing. Then the second thing that I want to mention about this is that this is a pitch that's directed at publishers. What publishers are interested in is in selling the game. They want to try and find a way to you know, kind of make money off of this. And in that way, it is important that the pitch focuses on that. So you might be wondering why there isn't that much mentioned in it about gameplay or anything like that. That's because, frankly speaking, publishers don't really give a shit about that. They just don't care. What they do care about is they care about how can they make money with a game. And so that's what a lot of this pitch is about. Okay? Anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started now. So I'm going to treat this as if you guys were a publisher. All right? That's how I'm going to do the pitch. I will do it just the same way I would if I was pitching the game to you guys in Twitch chat right now. And I want all of you to put on your suits, sit back in your chair, cross your arms, and look very displeased about everything that corporate is making you do this. Listen to this nonsense right now. And then I need you guys to ask me questions that you think a publisher would ask. And also I need you guys to just kind of ask questions that you might be interested in. Screw the first part. But yeah, anyway. So that's the thing. But yeah, let's get into it then. So, hello. Today I want to show you guys Chroma, Bloom, and Blight. What is Chroma? Chroma is an affordable and inclusive digital card game for PC and mobile. With this game, we are trying to kind of do two things. We want to make a game that is accessible to the card game audience at large. And we want to do that through a few different ways, through different elements. The first one, of course, being just kind of making a cool game. But the second one being we want to change up the monetization model of these games and kind of drive a little bit of a wedge into the market. The game is also quite heavily focused on lore and storytelling. So there's a lot of elements in the game about building a world and really inviting the player into this world to show them a lot of this fascinating environments and characters that we have built. Now, let's go ahead and immediately start talking about the big problems with the current card game market. I'm sure you're aware of it, that these games tend to be notoriously expensive. When you bring up card games with anyone, they might not know much about the games themselves, they might never play them, but they almost certainly know just how expensive they are. And that is for a good reason. That's because these games are very expensive for the players. That's because they are using a kind of wild business model, which is that they don't have you have access to all of the cards that are needed to play the game immediately. Instead, what they do is they have you purchase packs of cards that contain a random collection of cards, and then you just kind of pray that you get the ones that you need, you get the good ones. Oftentimes you don't. The games are very much set up in such a way that most of the time, most of the cards you get are just not worth anything. So it's sort of a gambling process. Now, this has caused a lot of frustration in the community, in large part because of the extreme costs. As I already mentioned, these games are notoriously expensive. And here you can kind of see a rough overview. So you can kind of see Magic the Gathering Arena, right? If you were to download Magic the Gathering Arena right now, and you just want to buy your way into it. You're not going to go and spend any time grinding up gold through quests and whatnot. No in-game currency other than just what you're spending on the game. You're going to have to spend like $200 to get a viable, strong deck that you can take to ladder. Can take on the ladder with, so you can play some good matchmaking. And honestly, that's a bit wild, isn't it? A game that is demanding that much of a buy-in. Now, this has caused some significant problems. These games are super inaccessible to new players, right? A new player comes into the match or into the game. They want to go out and just kind of get past the tutorial and get into a proper match in matchmaking. When they do that, what happens pretty frequently is that they queue into a match and then they just immediately get destroyed by a player that just has way better cards than them. And that is very frustrating because they didn't make a mistake. They didn't play poorly. They just didn't have the same resources that your opponent had. This is an incredibly frustrating experience and is also often the reason why these games tend to be kind of inaccessible to new players. Of course, while it is fun to collect cards, it isn't fun to play against people that have been doing it for longer and have collected more of them. Now, similarly, there's a big problem with returning players. You will see this brought up a lot in the context of Hearthstone, where oftentimes what happens is a player might take a break from the game for a little while, and then they want to come back to the game. But at that point, they have missed a few weeks of grinding their daily quests, and maybe they missed an expansion. And the game is effectively asking them for 100 or 150 euro buy-in just to get back to the level where they used to be at. And a lot of players just opt to not do that. A lot of players look at that and decide, you know what, I'm just gonna quit. And as a result, these games have problems retaining a player base outside of players that consistently play all the time. Anybody that takes periodic breaks struggles with this genre. Changing this business model and going to what we have called true free-to-play, which means we are not going to be charging players for the cards themselves, but instead we are not charging Instead, we are not charging for the game and we are not charging for the cards, meaning the players can just download it and start playing it without needing to worry about purchasing packs, purchasing the different elements, and they can just get started after a little bit of an unlock process, just a little bit of a kind of tutorial to get the game, like to get to know the game. If they do that, then afterwards they're able to really just kind of go wild in it. This prevents those first two problems, and it also allows us to just build a better game. These games are notoriously poorly balanced. Honestly, it's a big problem. Now, part of that is just because these games are very, very hard to balance. There's so many game pieces, you get one number wrong and then everything is messed up. But it's also because oftentimes the companies making them are scared to adjust the balance of the cards, are scared to adjust the balance of the game. Because if they do that and a player had spent money purchasing a specific card, it can be incredibly frustrating for that player to now have that card be devalued, right? If I spend 20, 30 packs, opening 30 packs to try and find a specific card, and then I finally get it, and then you nerf it, and now it's not good anymore, then that's not a good experience. Similarly, these games tend to sometimes fall into this trap where they release new content through an expansion, and then this new expansion doesn't really freshen up the game enough. But at that stage, they don't really have anything they can do. They need to make sure that whenever they release new content, it fits into packs at some point, because otherwise they're not able to really sell them in the future, right? There's just no good place where you can put them without really compromising the rest of the game. And so what tends to happen is if an expansion turns out to not be that interesting and doesn't freshen up the game enough, then the next 3 or 4 months, the game is just gonna be boring. And that's a big problem, right? That's something that really bothers players. And these are problems we can entirely circumvent. We can just balance the game. We don't have to worry about the players having invested money into their cards because they didn't. We can just balance the game and make the game the best it can be. And further, we don't have to stick so strictly to expansion cycles. We can, of course, we still want to have expansions because it's just a fun way to make content for these type of games. But we can also handle it a bit differently and just say, all right, you know what, here's a small content patch of 8 cards. Because we don't have to worry about where do we fit this? How do we make this work? Because frankly speaking, it's just not that difficult. Everybody just gets the cards. Now, how do we make money with this? That's, of course, the big thing, right? So here's some general ideas what we can have is, of course, kind of alternate card frames. We can have kind of emotes that you can use in-game, right? Like little sound emotes you can use to taunt your opponents. The board itself, on the board, you can kind of change things up. You can maybe customize your board a little bit or buy an entirely new one. We can have tournaments, right? An automated tournament system where you can win some stuff, and then also to participate you need to pay a small entry fee. A general kind of battle pass system, like a sort of monthly subscription where you just kind of unlock some cosmetics and such, but you have to kind of pay a monthly subscription. The big thing though, the main thing that we are pushing is alternate card art. So here's a bit of an example. On the left side, you can see an artwork we made for the game. This is the big thing that, this is the thing that everybody will have access to when they download the game. It's just like a card that we made. On the right side, I asked an artist to make an alternate interpretation of the same artwork. And I think she did an absolutely fantastic job with it. It is absolutely gorgeous. And this is the kind of thing we can just put into the store, right? What we're doing is we're essentially shifting away the collectible element of these games from the whole card to just the card artwork. Collecting stuff is fun. Of course it's fun. Everybody likes collecting things. But it is frustrating if the things you need to collect also have to be the things, or also are the things that you need to even play the game in the first place. Because then you might not necessarily even get to collect the things that you want. What we can do is we can just shift away from that entirely, and we can say, you know what, you can customize your cards. You can build your own unique collection that gives you the ability to really make it so that your deck, even though you're playing the exact same deck list as another player, still distinctly and uniquely feels like your own because of the alternate artwork and the general kind of customization that you have access to really make it feel like it is your own. Now, this business model has been successfully used in other games. So Dota 2 and Fortnite are the two big ones that immediately spring to mind. But we have some very significant advantages over those other games. Because if you are making an alternate artwork for Dota 2, right? You're making a skin for Dota 2. You're making a new model. You have to make concept art. You have to make the 3D model. You have to animate it. You have to rig it. You have to texture it. It's a whole expensive, difficult process. We don't have any of that. What we have to do is throw $300 at an artist, and then they give us the finished piece that we can immediately put into the store. We are faster and more cost efficient than other games that use the same business model while not conceding anything on quality. That's one of the huge advantages we have. In fact, I would argue that digital card games actually really lend themselves to this business model just because the production cost and the production costs for these alternate artworks are so low and the production speed is so high. If the community really likes a new character, right, all of a sudden, let's say there's like some meme that explodes and they just love one specific character out of nowhere, we can start pumping out new artwork for that character within days because it is just so fast to create this kind of alternative styles. Are there going to be cosmetic effect animations? Yes, of course. You can push these kind of alternate artworks further and further. You don't just have to leave it at just an image. You can also put particle effects on it, alternate voice acting, right? You can include it with an alternate frame. It's like a full art instead. There's a lot you can do there to just kind of to incentivize players further to pursue this collecting. All in all, what this allows us to do is it makes it so we can kind of position ourselves in the market in a way that gives us a huge advantage if it comes to actually entering the market. Currently, if I was to make a new digital card game that uses the same business model as Hearthstone or Magic the Gathering Arena, what ends up happening is I'm essentially asking the players that play Hearthstone to give up their collection, their time and money that they have spent on Hearthstone, to then play my game and start over with nothing. They don't have to, they have to then come into my game and build up that collection from scratch again. Which, this is something that I think you were able to do back when these games came out, a long time ago. But I don't think it's possible anymore. Because if you ask players to do that today, what ends up happening is that they are too invested into the games that they've already spent so much time with. The players often feel like they are really locked into the games that they play. And so what we can tell them is, if you want to try out Chroma, if you want to play the game, you don't actually have to give up everything that you have been working on. You don't have to give up the time and money that you invested into Hearthstone, because you can just come into Chroma and you will actually already have more than you have in Hearthstone, just because by default you have all of the cards unlocked. And that gives us a huge advantage in positioning ourselves in the market by just kind of reaching into the audiences of all other games and telling them, you know what, we can make this work without having you like give up on so much and then have to start over again. The game is available to try. So this is where, this is usually okay. If this was like an actual publisher, what I would do here is I would offer them, like, we can have a look at the game right now if you want. We can have a look at it after the presentation, or I can just send you some Steam keys. Now, I'm not going to do that with you guys. You guys are not getting any Steam keys. Sorry. But nonetheless, the game is currently in an alpha state and it is fully playable and fully testable. Here's a brief overview over some unique features in the game. So we have created a game that really is supposed to be a traditional card game. It is supposed to feel familiar familiar for the audience that already plays these games. But we also made an effort to make sure that it is still a bit different, a bit distinct. So we have the stand system, which makes combat, kind of adds an additional layer there. Then we have heroes, which kind of create, they have like all the unique abilities and they kind of dictate what decks you can play. We have this cell system where the positioning on the board really matters. Then finally, the game itself is presented to be a story that you play, right? Every match is a story that's being told. And so every match is structured into 3 acts. And each of the different acts kind of has a different element to it and kind of... it kind of gives the game this very natural rhythm and pacing that accelerates it as you go through it. Here's what we have already accomplished. So you can see we ran a Kickstarter of 116,000 euros that we've raised, which is, of course, I'm pretty happy with it. Right? So it shows there's a clear interest for this type of game. This was in April this year. You can see we've got over 3,000 members on our Discord server already. We've got 5,000 wishlists on Steam. Here's our loose timeline. So we started development in August 2019, so it's been just about a year. And currently we are kind of in this area where we're doing our closed alpha. And then we're planning to release the game in November 2020. Now, you as a publisher might already know that November is always a difficult time to release a game in because there's so much competition. In that way, we're not really, strictly speaking, attached to November as a release date. We are more looking to release in November out of necessity than out of choice. If you're interested in releasing the game later, we are open to that. However, in that scenario, you would have to provide us with additional funding to do so. Here's a brief look at our audience. So you can see 75% of the people contributing to our Kickstarter campaign come from countries with a high purchasing power, which means that these people are already invested in the game. And this is just kind of like a loose indication to show that it's really like strong purchasing power countries. Here's our team. We're not going to get into that right now. Just a quick look. And then finally, here is what we're looking for from you, Twitch Chat Incorporated. We are looking for a partner to help us with publishing and marketing the game. That's really the big thing. We believe we have a good product that has a good chance at reaching the right audience, and the audience that is really able, or that would really get excited about this type of game. But as always, it's scary, right? You're an independent publisher going into this on our own. What we are worried about is that we never reach that audience on our own, that they never hear about it. If they do hear about it, if the card game community does hear about our game, I'm confident that they will like it. The question is just, will they? And that's where you come in. That's what we're looking for from you. We want you to be able, we want you to promote the game on PC and mobile, with PC being the primary platform right now. And so that's kind of the main thing. However, there's a few other things that we would also pursue in this deal. So we have some funding options here. I have 30,000 as what I describe as the smooth release. Smooth release means that currently our budget for release, it is enough, but it is very tight. And the smooth release just kind of gives us some extra budget to make sure it is as good as it can be. Right? Add in a little bit more voice acting, a bit more sound effect, a bit more art. Just kind of pretty it up wherever we can. Then we have for 100,000 would also finance the first expansion. With these type of games, the first expansion is basically a second release. It is absolutely critical that you have the first expansion planned well ahead of time, that it comes out soon, that it is something that the players can rely on. These games oftentimes live or die based on their first expansion. It's not actually on release. Oftentimes they kind of do okay on release, but like then they kind of just tuck along, and the first expansion decides whether or not the game is gonna live for years to come or just die right then and there. And we want to make sure we can get to that first expansion without having to stress about money along the way, because I believe that will allow us to build a better product and really nail that key point in time. And as such, we're really looking for the 100,000 to be able to allow us to do that. We are already working on the first expansion. This is something that's already being worked on and finished right now. And we understand how important it is. And I do really believe this will be the right way to go. And then finally, we have support for porting the game to mobile as well as localization. Currently, porting the game to mobile is kind of a when we get around to it situation where we want to finish up the PC version first, and then after the PC version is all done, then we're going to start working on mobile. But with these type of games, they do well on mobile, and I know there's a lot of interest in getting the game on mobile. So ideally, we would like to reach that sooner. So in that scenario, I think it would be best for both of us if you could support us either through development funds or just through actually porting the game to mobile for us, if you could support us in that way. And then similarly, localization. Localization is just something I think is nice and valuable, but we currently just do not have the funds for. Anyway, that's my little presentation here. Please buy my game. Please, oh please buy my game. Anyway, chat. So here's my little pitch. That's the end of it. So, anybody got any questions about that right now? No? Can I play it with my friends? Well, not right now, but eventually. I don't know. Anyway, if anybody has anything to say about that, please feel free to let me know. So, this cosmetic system looks like the Dota 2 model. Is that the in-that game community is able to create skins for the players? Do you plan to make something similar? So how do you plan to fill it? Isn't that a slow way to make profit? I don't know, Velvet Kiwi. You just proposed a system and then immediately said there's a problem with it. So we're probably not doing that. So the way the skins, the alternate artwork is created is that we just kind of have a network of artists that we're working with, and we're just in touch with them directly. Anyway. I have a question. When making interface, do you think about the camera and chat position for streamers and YouTubers? Yes, actually. That's actually something we kept in mind. Anyway, let's get ourselves into a bit of a match here. I have a little bit of gameplay I would like to show you guys along with our pitch now that that's over with. I hope that was interesting. So, we're going to do two things today, right? The first thing, the first deck I want to play is this one right here. It's called Cool VFX. Maybe you'll see why. I hope we've got Ivan Yesta around to come and play against me right now. There we go, Ivan Yesta is already ready. So we are going to be loading into the game, and we're just going to go ahead and play a little bit. So any way to allow community artwork would be a great hooking point to create a good community. So community artwork, here's kind of what I'm open to, right? Is if this is how, by the way, this versus thing right now, we're working on a versus screen. Don't worry about it. This is kind of like a work in progress thing. So we are very much open to kind of like engaging with artists, and kind of the way a lot of this is handled right now is just if you're an artist and you're interested in making alternate artwork for Chroma, you can just send me an email, and in all likelihood, if you are at all decent, I will pay you some money, right? To like give it a chance. But in that way, it is also, you know, like kind of like that's sort of how it's going to stay. I'm not going to suddenly have like a whole system in place for artists to completely handle everything on their own. It's all going to probably be like a manual process for the entire time of it. Anyway, you can see our board. We have done further improvements and iterations to it. I'm actually quite happy with how it looks right now. And I think all around you can see that it's nice, isn't it? Like we've really polished it up a lot. We've kind of figured out. So this little shape here, you can see this is we call this the boomerang. Yeah, so it's just kind of what we call it right now because we couldn't think of a better name for it. And it kind of looks like a boomerang, but the place where the heroes are on. But yeah, like we really kind of streamlined everything, and I think it looks really nice. Now, in the bottom left corner, you can see the act counter. This is currently a bit whack. This is something that we are working on and fixing up right now. Right. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and play something really quick. Go ahead and snatch this guy up, and we're going into the next turn. Anyway, hey Notchi, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime. So yeah, this is kind of like our current situation here. Now, wait, is it anybody else's turn? Did I click end turn? Oh, I thought I had clicked end turn. I don't know. I guess it didn't come quite through. Look, the end turn button is still something that's like a little bit of a work in progress here. But yeah, overall, so you can see we've made some improvements to the board. It is still very much an ongoing thing, though. It like takes some time to develop, and you know, we're just kind of like doing that, I suppose. Even yesterday, just kind of like gonna start shooting my stuff. All right, that's fair. That is fair. I gotta get rid of all of my nonsense. It's not too scary, this little guy right here. Oh, it's just going to hit me for one additional. So something that we did, I don't know if you guys noticed it compared to last time, but now... Oh, by the way, look at that. Particle effect when you break one of the hearts, which should now push us into the second act. All right, we're going to go ahead and play the Gift of Inspiration. Now, but now when you deal damage to something with an effect, the projectile flies and connects, and only then the damage happens, which is kind of nice. Anyway, are you guys ready? We're about to enter into Act 2. Isn't that cool? I'm really happy with it. I think it's really cool. Hey, Red Steak, thank you very much for the 5 months. Appreciate it. But yeah, so last time, what I said is that there's still kind of like a lot of like ongoing behind the scenes development that we are working on, you know, that needs to be done. And that's of course true. But now our kind of like behind the scenes development work that needed to be done is mostly finished. And now we are actually just adding stuff into the game. That's just kind of like the big thing. Now it's just getting stuff is just getting added into the game. Anyway, hey Tom, thank you very much for the 26 months. So people are a little bit are unsure what acts do. So what acts do is they kind of so the way they work, they add a certain rhythm to the game, right? In Act 1, there's nothing that changes, everything is normal. And every time you play a card or a turn ends, you kind of like move through the game and eventually reach Act 2. In Act 2, both players gain access to these 2 extra mana up here, right? Which just kind of gives us a bit more resources. And in Act 3, both players unlock an ultimate ability for their hero. Where every hero already has one active ability and one passive ability usually. They usually have 2 abilities, and then they also have an ultimate that they gain access to in Act 3. So yeah, that's kind of the big thing here. Anyway, what my deck is, maybe I should kind of explain this really quick. So I'm playing a hero called... Iron Wraith. And what Iron Wraith does right now is he's got this passive ability which says you may only have up to 3 companions in the story. Your companions have +1/+1. This makes it so that, for example, the Knight of the Congregation here is stronger, but I'm also very limited on how many I can actually have. And that's kind of the idea, that I always need to be very aware of like how much space I'm occupying in a way. Anyway, I'm kind of considering killing this right now. I have this development right here. We're gonna go ahead and do this and play release. Get rid of this, thank you. So you can see that also a lot more artwork is just in the game. It's not even everything in yet. There's just a lot of artwork that needs to be added. We just, yeah, I mean, we're working on the game. It's like it's actually getting there, right? It's really being finished. But yeah, so like what I'm kind of playing with the Iron Wraith here is it's a deck that has a few creatures, or companions is what they're called, with very kind of powerful effects that are hard to interact with. And then it uses strong removal cards. So I have lots and lots of cards that just kind of allow me to get rid of what my opponent plays. So you can kind of see that's what I'm doing here. I'm just kind of clearing out the board more and more, very slowly, very patiently. And what that allows me to do is just kind of chip away at my opponent while only having a few companions on the board to actually fight with. And lots of removal. So yeah, anyway. We're gonna get ourselves... we're gonna go ahead and keep moving through this game. So we're playing against Bebo here, and Bebo is a bit of a spooky mon that can definitely be scary, and where we need to be wary of what she can do. So this right here is, for example, is a card called the Whittler, although right now it's just a discard bomb. But yeah, so the Whittler kind of destroys our deck, which is really annoying. Oh, thank you so much. So now I have to discard a card. Let's just get rid of the Lightning Seed. I don't really think I'll be needing that. But I'm really excited that I now get to do this. Oh. Isn't it cool? Yeah, I was kind of looking forward to that. Alright. Yeah, we have some cool VFX coming in. That's why this deck is called Cool VFX. We also have Be Like the Sun, which I still need to show you. But I'm kind of trying to play it very carefully. Again, the deck we are playing really requires you to just be very, very like slow and careful with everything you do. So yeah. Okay. I wonder if I should kill this with another release. Release will, I don't know. It's just more healing, right? And but I think right now we have our one companion on the board that we need on the board at all times. And we just kind of keep chipping away at it. Just kind of keep chipping away. So, what was I about to say? I don't know. I had something. Is sound muted or not implemented yet? There's no sound yet. So this is kind of what I said earlier, where we're working on the sound. It's just not quite there yet. All right. It seems Ivan Yesta is getting ready for some scary stuff. Okay. Oh God, so much plating on that guy. So much plating. Reuse your active. So the active ability wouldn't help us here. So Bebo up there, she's got plating is what it's called. And what this does is it makes it so I can only deal 1 damage to it at a time. And because I can only deal 1 damage to it at a time, buffing my companion's attack wouldn't help. Like, it just wouldn't matter. All right, so this is pretty much like, this is a pretty good situation again. The question here is how greedy do we want to be? We can just kind of wait and not play Nurse-Screw. But the big card that we are scared of in Ivan Yesta's deck is this Animus Mirror, right? This is just a card that is terrifying. And it's not an exaggeration if I say that Ivan Yesta might just be able to kill us if we leave this alive right now. Because it is pretty late in the game and he saved 4 mana. Bebu gets to carry over mana from the last turn. So this is Bebu's ability here. At the start of your turn, you gain any unspent mana from last turn as floating mana. So that means right now, Ivan Yesta has these 4 mana not used. That means at the start of his turn, he will actually get 4 more mana and he'll have 16 mana to play with, which is quite a lot. So, you know what I'm gonna do? Is I'm gonna just kill the Forsaken Armorer. Let's do be like the sun. Just kind of get rid of it now. Good, good, good. And then we pass. Oh, we are now entering into Act 3. Let's see what we can do there. So a bit of a slower game, but I'm trying to be kind of very careful with everything that's happening. Oh my god, that is not good. I'm not happy about getting another Whittler plate on me. Yeah. This is also a card that actually already has artwork, and we gotta add in that artwork. It's actually really cool. I really like it. So, effects are great. Thank you very much. I'm glad you guys like it. So again, this is just kind of we spent a lot of time preparing for this, so we have a smooth, a reliable way of implementing these kind of effects. And well, now we do. Now we have that like good way of making sure that this all gets added in a nice fashion. I'm gonna get rid of this Garden of Thunder. I don't think that's gonna be super useful. All right, we'll just play our Skew here. I'm not gonna mess around with the Riddler. It's just too scary. I'm kind of tempted to play this Waking Chamber Guardian, but maybe we just wait a bit longer. Right? Let's just wait a bit longer. I know I'm being super careful, super patient right now, but this is really how you have to play my deck. It's just a matter of sitting back and waiting for the right moments to pressure your opponent. But yeah. No, but we have really streamlined our kind of like implementation process a lot now. And that allows us to make sure that we can actually add stuff. So this is kind of one of the big win conditions of this deck, Null Dreams. This is a card I can put down and then I can just kind of invest all of my excess mana to deal damage to my opponent, which is really nice. So let's play the Knight of the Congregation. Let's get rid of this. Very good. So now we have this bad boy. Which allows us to just kind of have some extra mana. Let's make sure that we spend our mana in a good way. So we go ahead and get these two. I'm going to take control of this as well. And then I'm going to play a Null Dreams and shoot once. Here we go. So this Null Dreams is mostly just there to allow us to pressure down our opponent and chip away through this armor. Because now we're getting to a stage where Ivan Yesta needs to not only defend against my companions, but then also defend against my Null Dreams. And that's where it gets difficult. Alright, that's where it gets really, really hard. So you can see there's like a lot of strategy to it. Oh no, that's not good. So that's one of the new cards. You might remember the Famished Blade, but it's actually been updated a lot and it now works differently. So one of the things is that all of the weapons have been removed from the game and they've been replaced with, well, non-weapon stuff, right? And so that's one of those examples. Okay, so I kind of want to get rid of this guy. Question is just how do I best do this? I kind of look, okay, here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna play Garden of Thunder, which will just deal some damage, and this also kind of just puts a bit more pressure on it. Oh no, you had plating. God damn it. Oh man, I didn't consider that. That's why the Garden of Thunder didn't do any damage. Alright, I'll just kill it like that. Yeah, this guy has the ability to put down a blessing here, which makes it so that whenever Mystic Vanguards enters it, they get a point of plating, which makes it really difficult to take them down cleanly, because you always have to do 2 damage instances. Well, there will be skins for board. It's really pretty right now, but the gold/bronze boomerang is not doing it for me. Absolutely. 100%. I think you, like, real make sure you can customize the boomerang. You can customize what the board looks like in general, right? Like, I understand that, you know, like, maybe you want to have a different flower. Maybe you don't really like the jungle area or something like that. All of these things are going to be customizable. 100%. It's just got to keep in mind that right now, we're still working with, like, this fairly early version here. Well, I guess it's not super early anymore, but you get it, right? Anyway, I'm gonna just go ahead and start hitting. I still need to get through this infinite plating that Ivaniesta has here. Oh, come on, man! Why is your deck only plating, dude? Oh, this is hard to get through. What a nightmare, everybody. What a nightmare. Okay, so this is one that we want to actually just make sure we kill properly. Oh, perfect. Perfect, so it has Blight Baptism on it. No, give me back my Knight of the Congregation. Ah, oh, god damn it. Wait. I wonder if Ivaniesta is even gonna take the Knight of the Congregation, or if he's gonna take something from the ashes. No, is it? Did my Knight disappear? No, my Knight is still here. What did he take? What did he take? Oh, by the way, sorry. This right here is a bug right now. Where all of the all of the dead companions, they're just dead boys. So yeah, I don't know why. That's just how it is. Don't question it. Alright, so we have to get rid of this. That's fine. We have a really clean way of dealing with it, which is Forgotten. So we will just do that. Right, just kind of like avoids it, gets rid of that resurrection effect as well. We'll play the Gift of Inspiration again, which just lets us draw some additional cards. And then we can power up this fella to hit for another 1 point of plating. Because Ivaniesta's deck is just plating, it's nothing else. Now, by the way, plating isn't as overpowered as it may seem right now. Right? There's even some cards in my deck that just make plating a non-issue. But it's just that this hero in particular struggles with it a little bit, because my deck just doesn't have that many different kinds of companions, right? It's just very limited in how many companions it actually plays. And so we can't just flood the board and attack and get rid of all of the plating immediately, which is what you would usually want to do. But again, this deck just doesn't play that many companions. It's very limited. It's just mostly enchantments and spells to like try and fight in that way. Oh my god, Ivaniesta, stop killing all of my stuff. Oh god, and now it's bigger. Okay. Yeah, well that guy is a little bit scary, so we gotta do something about that. Alright, that's fine. So, well, we're gonna just kind of like stick to our usual plan, I think, right? Which is, go ahead and void this guy. I mean, you can kind of see the strategy, right? Like, we just kind of delete anything that might be annoying while we look for nice, strong stuff to threaten with. I don't think we want another Knight of the Congregation. I mean, the Knight of the Congregation is very powerful, but we don't necessarily need another one. What's that free or Uwu symbol next to the old man? It is not an Uwu symbol. It is definitely a free. This is just kind of a bug. I'm honestly not sure why that is there. It's the first time I saw that. I saw that like when we did some test games early on off stream, but I have no idea why that is there. Alright, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and do this and disallow any companions from coming down. This right here still uses some older text, so don't worry too much about it. But I'm gonna wait. I'm not gonna play the second interdiction right now, because then I can have a loop of constantly blocking any companions from coming down for a few turns with the double interdiction. So we'll do that. Let's get ourselves another one of these fellas. I don't think I need a third interdiction. I don't think so. Wait, here we go. We activate this one. We'll stop companions from coming down again. Guys, we've almost done it. Next turn we'll be able to do some damage. It is maybe possibly going to happen. Oh my god, Ivan Yesta, why do you do this to us? Alright, let's just kind of keep it going though. Alright, and we got it, guys. Poggers, we made it all the way through that 1,000,000 layers of plating. Gonna go ahead and disallow the disallow companions again. And here's kind of the big thing, right? So I can't play another Child of the Flame here, because keep in mind I can only actually play 3 companions with this hero. So that makes it a bit tricky for me. Oh, there goes one of them. That's alright. That's alright. I mean, we could also disallow spells, but that's okay. You can play an Animus Mirror, you can't play companions. Oh man, I feel a little mean, but only a little really. How many cards are left in my deck? Not that many, so that's not great. So we definitely don't want to play the Gift of Inspiration then. Oh, I just made a misplay. I should have used my ability here. Alright, we've got Ivan Yesta down to 39. Alright guys, we got him. We dealt a damage, everybody. We did it. We dealt a damage. Alright, disallow companions. You're not gonna be able to use those anymore. I'm sorry, this is just gonna be it. And now you might be like, Bobby, that is really quite rude of you. And I agree. I agree. But that's really just quite unfortunate that Ivan Yesta doesn't have a way of dealing with those 2 enchantments there. I mean, you gotta play some removal, my friend. Oh, man. What's the ring around the hero portrait? That's your health bar. So you can see it's now getting a little bit orange now that Ivan Yesta taken some damage and it depletes. What's your alt? So my hero currently just has a default alt, which says invalid ability text. So this right here, it just deals 5 damage and heals me for 5. It's because the ultimate for this particular hero hasn't been implemented yet. In fact, the ultimates for, I believe, no heroes have been implemented. It's one of those things that is still coming. Just hasn't been a priority. Alright, I have one more card in my deck. I think it's another one of these, the Freelance Tacticians. So that's fine. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep chilling. I mean, right now it's looking like I'll just win. There we go. There we go. Look at that. Nice, nice, nice.
Do join us. We
Oh,
have
sorry,
more
that's
than enough to go around.
That's a bit loud right now. Alright then. So that's kind of the cool VFX deck. And then I have a little spell controlling deck that moves a bit quicker if you might be interested in that. How long have we been? Oh, it's almost been an hour already. Well, that game took a little while. Alright, Ivan Yesta, but we can do another one, but promise me you're not playing another... You're not playing another deck that's just putting plating on your hero. That's really all I need to know. Alright. Maybe something that isn't that slow. You okay with healing? Sure. I'm actually kind of interested in seeing how your healing competes against my damage. So I'm playing a hero called the Envoy right now, who is, by the way, probably getting renamed. And so this hero is usually kind of known for being a very aggressive character that just kind of rushes the opponent down. But in this particular deck, that is not our goal. Alright, cool. We're gonna go ahead and immediately kill one of these. So this is one of the new cards. It's called Starving Steel, which deals 2 damage to a companion, and if that destroys it, you get this, the Famished Blight, which is an insane card. 2 mana, destroy anything. It's absurd. It is absolutely crazy. Then we have the Knife Made Vice, which is another, like a new little removal spell here. Go ahead and grab ourselves into the hook. See if we can... Oh, guys, which one should we pick? Anyone got any idea here? I'm gonna go ahead and grab myself this one. And let's get ourselves a mutation. Alright, not great draws, I have to admit. Nothing that gets me really super excited. But that's okay. Oh, this is one of my favorites. This is the Mikkeltulp. It's a mole. And what you can do with the mole is you put it into the guarded stance. And I'm gonna go ahead and give it warded. So now my mole is warded. And it's just kind of sitting here. And at the start of my turn, it deals 2 damage to these 2 right here. Which is pretty exciting. So another thing you may have noticed is that the game kind of uses a bit of a different language now, right? So for example, this says at the start of your turn, I deal 2 damage to all my adjacent companions. Yeah, we kind of like took some time to rethink the exact language we're using for the game. And this is kind of what we're doing now. So anyway, look at that. Look at how nice that is. And you know what my favorite part about the mole? It can move. It can move in cells. Oh man, it's great. So he can just kind of like scoot over there, and now this guy's gonna get killed. Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and play the Forsaken Armorer. We saw how useful that fella can be. But yeah, the mole can dig around the board. And so at the start of your turn, it like deals damage to everything around it. By the way, including your stuff. That's why I didn't put this guy right here. Because then the mole would have also dealt damage to it. Alright, but there we go. Okay, a mole does damage again. Alright, let's move the mole over, everyone. It's mole o'clock. It is mole o'clock. Oh, that was actually a mistake. That was actually a huge misplay. Because I gotta kill this quicker than that. So we might just use our Famished Blade right now. Let's go ahead and get these 2. Thank you very much. Famished Blade. Get rid of this. You can also see we have this cool new destruction effect here. And then we'll play this fella who's currently unnamed. Which is a bit of a sad boy. And we'll put you over here. I'm just gonna attack here, honestly. There we go. And into Act 2 we go. So yeah. But our... Okay, there's another one. Don't worry, guys. I have a mole. Don't worry, everybody. We have a mole. And it'll keep us safe. Don't have... It's fine. You may have noticed I really like this card. This is legitimately one of my favorite cards. I just love it so much. It is so funny. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move the mole over here. And there we go. Alright, then we attack once. And then I'm just gonna play Hawk and be a wiener. Is that okay, everybody? Can we play Hawk and be a wiener? What does the guarded stance do? So when something is in the guarded stance, it can't be attacked, but it also can't attack. So for example, I couldn't use my Forsaken Armorer to attack this Will of the Wood, because the Will of the Wood is in the guarded stance. So if I try and attack that right now, it just doesn't work. Yeah, I'm just gonna Hawk. Where do I put this Hawk? I think I put it here. Wait, no, I'll put it here. I'll just put it in the middle. Positioning does matter, especially since I have the mole digging around the place, right? Alright. Why would you avoid something that can't be attacked? Well, because my opponent might have a spell. Or like an enchantment that can interact with it. Those exist. Right, there's Open Arms. Although Open Arms is cheating, because I believe Open Arms works on stuff that's warded. Which is, funnily enough, it's strictly speaking a bug, but it's just kind of a cool bug, so I don't even hate it. Alright, removed Hark, but Hark, again, apologies, bit of a bug right there. Hark lingers for 1 additional turn. Meaning even though it was just removed this turn, it's actually not gonna like disappear. The effect is gonna stick around until next turn. Yeah, even Yester still can't attack right now. Anyway, see, this is what I meant. It's like an enchantment that can make the small. I only need to do 1 damage. I don't know. Like, I want to keep the mole alive. You have seen how incredibly useful this mole is, right? This is a god tier mole. Am I gonna give up on this now? Well, I don't think so. I don't think we're giving up on this mole. This is the best mole. All right, so here's what we're going to do right now. Is we're going to... I still can't attack with anything right now. So I can't use the knife made wise on this. Because it is tucked away in a corner like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to use our mole. And I'm going to put this here right now. All right, we're going to move that over. So now the mole is over there. I am dropping a little low on HP, but not to the extent that I'm worried about dying right now. This will clear out the Forsaken Armorer next turn, which gives me some opportunities. I kind of want to put down this Castaway. So Castaway is just kind of like a big, strong companion that will let us protect, will let us be threatening, mostly. It like adds a powerful spell into our hand every turn. And since there isn't really that much in terms of power on the board right now, I'm actually just going to leave the Castaway in the combat stance. So Castaway is actually something that we want to attack with. But right now, I don't think that's really on the table. Wait, so, sorry. I'm sorry, my brain is not working properly today. Castaway is something that we don't usually want to attack with. We usually want to keep it alive. We want to protect it. But that's when it's at its strongest. So the kind of idea with it right now is just, I don't think it's going to die if we leave it up like this. So we don't need to protect it immediately. We might need to protect it afterwards, but not right now. And then if it stays alive, it gives us the option of kind of like utilizing it as an attacker if we need to. Alright, okay, Mole is just way too good. Powerful mole people coming through. What do we do here? If I move this guy and I put it here, then this guy doesn't have any adjacent companions. And then I can kill it with the knife made wise. Right? So I move this over here, and then I play the knife made wise. And just snipe out the scary one. See. Good. Then, I need to get rid of the Will of the Wood. This needs to go. It's just way too scary. Right? So let's go ahead and use up these two right here. Dimensional Whiplash. And we're going to go ahead and just shoot this twice. Very good. Then we can attack. Oh, I don't know if I want to attack with this. I don't think I want to go into Act 3 right now. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this one into the guarded stance right now. I'm going to place down this Forsaken Armorer here. And then I didn't manage my mana properly. God damn it. I suck. I was kind of hoping to play that Blight Tamer as well, but I don't... No, that's not that big of a deal. Okay, but this just gives me a bit more protection. Now, this is kind of why I play this. The Forsaken Armor, as you like saw earlier, it gives plating to Mystic Vanguards, right? So this guy's a Mystic Vanguard, so I can put this guy into this Forsaken Armorer's Blessing and just kind of get a bit of value out of that. Oh, that's not good. Oh, no. Okay. So we're gonna need to kill. Yeah. Yeah, we're gonna need to get a kill here. Very soon. Very, very soon. Alright, why don't we go out and destroy all of my other enchantments right now. Alright. We're still not in Act 3 though. This has to go. I think we actually... This is where we need to get rid of our mole. So the mole gets ready to attack. Because the mole needs to go. Then if I play this right now... How do I best do this? I need to figure out a good way of actually... I need to make sure I don't die. I need to clear this board, ideally. And then I need to... How much can I clear? I can attack here. And then I can put this guy out of the guarded stance. And I can attack with this one as well. So I have 2 units ready to attack. I can clear these 2 here. And then I can use Dimensional Whiplash, which currently has +1 power. +2, +3. That's not great. It might be better to just trade with this. Right, we go like so. And then we Dimensional Whiplash. Here. And then we attack this one. And then I can play you. Oh my god, I'm so good at video games. Alright, we got Deconstruct. Off the top. Wait. Oh, I ran out of time. Oh no. Ah, crap. Guys. Oh, fuck. Oh no, I needed to pay attention to the turn timer. Oh no. Oh no, this is not good. Oh god, no. No, the mole is right next to my guy. It's gonna die. Yes, the turn timer system isn't like super nice yet. I know. Sorry, it's just not quite done. Ah, my god, no, no, my mole! You're using my mole against me. I can't believe you would do this to me. Oh my god! Why did everything die? I don't even know when this guy died! What the fuck, man? Okay, I have no idea why the guy on the right died. I know why the other 2 died, but I don't know why that guy died. Oh god, okay. Well, we lost everything because I'm bad at my own video game. I'm sorry, it's hard. It's okay, it's not the easiest game. Oh god. Alright. Well, we might still be able to somehow pull this off. So, what we have is a Blight Tamer, which is like the big thing that I was ramping up to. Because Blight Tamers are super good, because now this deals infinite damage. Right? It deals... Can kill in one shot. Then we can kind of shoot here. I'm also using this to heal a bit. Then we can play this fella. And just continue with getting some defense. Oh my god, I can't believe it. We got... Oh. Man, my mole. You know, I'm really happy with my mole. I think it did a great job at everything it did. What is that? Why do you have a dead boy? Here, have some 5/5s. Okay, we're gonna get into the Higd. Let's go ourselves one of these. And I can use this to get deadly, which is not too bad. Wait, why are we disarmed? Huh? Alright, I guess I'm gonna make it this. Why is everything disarmed? Is this Hawk? Is this Hawk? Did anyone yesterday just play this weird buggy version of Hawk? Why? Oh, you played Hawk? Even yes, I actually played Hawk. Well, I take no responsibility for that. That is absolutely your own spaghetti that you're gonna have to clean up by yourself. Alright, good. That works for me. That gives me a bit of an opportunity, at least. Okay, that's a bit wild, I have to admit. Yeah, so again, this dead boy situation, it's just, you know, again, it is It is an alpha. This is what games in alpha look like. Honestly, games in alpha usually look way worse than this. No, I don't want to. Oh, God. Oh, God. I got it. This is the only thing I needed. Because even Yester hogged himself. This is the only thing giving me a chance. But I can win now. Because I get Dimensional Whiplash. I get 2 turns of Dimensional Whiplash. Oh my god. I can't believe it. Because look at this. It does way too much damage. Now I have so much set up. Oh my god. Okay, I have this guy. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna just make this fella huge. Right, alright, here we go. Get +3/+3 and then just shoot once. And yeah, but honestly, I'm dead either way if the Hawk... But the Hawk is buggy right now. Right? Like, it lasts one more turn and it should. Yeah, everything is still the same. You still can't attack. You still can't attack. Okay, I think we won. I think we did it. Alright, you know what? Never mind. It is fine. It is fine. What does Hawk do? Hawk makes it so nothing can attack while it's in play. Right? It's a really high mana cost enchantment, but it makes it so nothing can attack. So even Yester played Hawk on a board where all he needed to do was attack, and he would have just won immediately. Oh no! 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 Not like this! Oh my god! Oh my god, it's not enough damage! It's not enough damage! Oh, there was the folly. Oh, it's not enough damage. Oh, thank god. Oh, thank god. Bug abuser? Hey, you can't blame me for abusing the bug. I didn't play Hawk. That wasn't me. You gotta blame Ivan Yester for doing that. I'm not taking any responsibility for his actions. Alright, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go ahead and start shooting. Here's all of our mana. Go ahead and buff up our boy. And then pew. Pew. Look, this guy's a machine gun, okay? That's what he does. He just like shoots a lot. And I need to do this because I need to get past the hard. Because right now, if I just play Dimensional Whiplash, it actually won't kill. And now I play Dimensional Whiplash, and I won. I did it. I actually won the video game. That's kind of wild, dude. I can't believe it. That's freaking crazy.
I'm in the middle of a story.
Alright. Anyway. So that's our update for August. Yeah. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys are looking forward to the game. As you can see, there's a lot happening right now. Right? Over the past 2 months, it's been very slow. It's not because we weren't working on it. It's just because we weren't implementing so much. And right now, we're all about implementing. And lots and lots of stuff is getting added. So I'm sure by next month, you will be able to see even more. And also, hopefully by then I'll have some updates for you regarding the publishers. I haven't really talked about it too much today, other than doing the pitch. But I am very much in talks with publishers, and I think there's some there's some progress happening, right? And hopefully it'll all work out well. Anyway, yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope to see you guys next month as well. Goodbye.